Oh, YouTube, what's going on, everybody? It's a little bit windy today. But anyways, wanted to come on real quick, talk about this deal with the DEA now. ATF fucked around and found out that they don't write laws. Now the DEA is trying to write laws and saying, change gun laws and saying that you can't own certain guns and whatever now. See, these irrelevant, unconstitutional agencies are trying to stay relevant. See, all these agencies that the government made up and put on against us people, they weaponized them against us people. You know, we the people. They gave them military vehicles, military grade weapons, military grade gear, you know, and they started dressing like soldiers and everything, walking down the streets. Now the DEA is saying that they're going to change gun laws. The ATF says, hey, if you don't comply with us by a certain date, you're going to be a felon. You know what, ATF, DEA? I guess I'm a felon. Because I would never comply with you. I ain't saying I am around. Ain't. You're going to have to fuck around to find out. See, that's the thing. We the people have the power still. You're going to go after what, 28 million people that have those little plastic devices that you said were now illegal? Or you're going to go after the people that have these guns that the Firearms Act has deemed unconstitutional? Well, according to the way I read the Constitution, it says shall not be infringed. So, if I want to own a full automatic or anything else, it's none of your damn business. See, you got Biden that's sitting there too worried about when the soldiers come home, and people are talking about this in this congressional hearing that they did, where Biden was checking his watch. He wasn't even worried about the Marines and Navy and Army people that died. 13 people. He wasn't worried about them. See, he's more worried about his pedophilia and his New World Order than he is our own people. He ain't worried about people struggling to make it out here. He ain't worried about the inflation going out of the roof. All these Democrats that are crying foul because Tucker released all them videos. It's funny to watch him sit back and watch him scrambling. It's funny to watch all these brainwashed freaking idiots and morons that are still supporting Biden and the Democratic Party. They don't understand what they want. And it's funny to say, hey, I'm going to start a channel called White Lives Matters Entertainment. There you go. Or network, or whatever you want to call it. See, if I do that, I'd be called racist. But yet the Black Lives can do whatever the frick they want. They can go out, commit crimes, kill people. They can beat each other up, kill each other in these neighborhoods. They can be racist as hell. And yet they say that they can't be racist. Blacks, it's impossible for blacks to be racist. Well, that's some bullshit. And then you got the Democrats that are supporting all this pedophilia and this transgender bullshit. I don't care if you are transgender personally. But when you do it around children, start pushing it on children, that's when I get pissed off. I don't care if you're doing it in clubs for adults. But when you got children, you know, little children, sitting there in the crowd, and you're down there with your fake boobs and your junk hanging out, that's when I get pissed off. I don't care what color you are, white, black, purple, or blue. I really don't fucking care. But you can't tell me that all these crimes and riots and everything going on in these cities going to trash, and you look at the population in those cities, the majority of those cities, so I'm going to say it, man, they're black communities. Black communities, you go into them, they look like slums and ghettos. Why? Because you got blacks pushing drugs on each other. You got blacks killing each other, black single parents, black all this other stuff going on. And yet the Democratic Party is sitting there brainwashing the black people, saying, but we're going to give you free stuff. Where's my free stuff? Where do I get reparation? You know, $500,000 reparation. When can I start demanding reparation? You know, Native American and Irish, I mean, hell, both of them were either butchered or slaves. The DEA, though, that's what I really wanted to talk about, think that they're God. ATF thinks that they're God and they can write laws now, and you have to follow it, no questions asked. You just bow down and kiss their boots. You got law enforcement out here thinking that you have to kiss their boots. If you don't comply, they say, why are you making it harder? Why are you not just complying? Why do I have to comply? There's nothing in the Constitution that says comply with the blue line thugs. I ain't going to. I don't answer questions. I don't even talk to the blue line. I see the blue line. I go the other direction. I don't even want to mess with them. I don't support them. I mean, granted, they do a lot of good work, but, you know, even the devil does good work to make himself look good. You know, it's pretty sad that the good law enforcement officers are getting out overshadowed by these tyrannical bullies and thugs that are out here thinking that you got to lick their boots. And if you're carrying your guns, you're some kind of criminal if you're carrying a gun. They're following orders just like Nazi Germany. You know, we're just following orders. So if you was told just to walk down the street and start shooting every American on the streets, would you follow orders doing that? Here, kill them all. Here's the guns, here's the ammo, here's the bombs, here's everything, here's the tanks. Go kill them all. Would you do it? That's the question for law enforcement. Would you do it? Would you follow orders doing that? Then why would you follow orders about violating our First Amendment, our Second Amendment, our Fourth Amendment, Fifth Amendment? Why would you follow orders from these stupid higher ups, these chiefs that are getting caught for sexual issues? And then also one chief was actually arrested recently for setting fires to these people's houses that he did not like. If you stood up against him, he would burn your house down, your car down. He would just burn it all up. And attempted murder, man. He almost murdered several people doing it. So tell me that retaliation from law enforcement doesn't happen. I'll show you many videos on YouTube, on other apps. TikTok, one of them, which TikTok is a bunch of bullshit myself, I think myself anyways. But yeah, these people say, oh, you just got to back the blue, you got to comply. When I hear somebody say that, back the blue, no matter what, I see bootlickers. I see SpongeBob SquarePants licking a boot. Okay, better suck that boot down your throat, because someday that boot's going to kick it down your throat. It's going to shove it, the whole thing down your throat. Back the blue until it happens to you. You know, so I mean, you got all this stuff going on right now, and they're trying to distract from COVID. They're trying to distract from the Epstein's pedophile island flight logs and list, visitors list. They're trying to distract you from the crimes that they are committing. They're trying to distract you from the idea that the freaking World Economics Forums and the health forums, the WHO, is wanting to come here and destroy us. They're trying to distract from the fact that China owns Biden. They're trying to distract from Hollywood, which is full of pedophiles. They're trying to distract you and me with all this BS. The train derailments that's happening. There's a provision in UN, and a lot of people don't understand this, that if the ground becomes too toxic, the UN can come in and force you to move out of your home. Why do you think they're making the land so toxic right now? Why? Oh, let me tell you why. So they can get you to move. They can get you into one of these prison cities. See, I'm one of those people, I'd rather go starve and hunt down food and take my time finding food and let God provide for me than I would the government. I don't trust the government for nothing, period. Whenever has the government done anything good for the people? They haven't. They send our boys and girls off to war. Their sons and daughters, see, the president's sons and daughters, senators' sons and daughters, and all them, they don't have to go to war. No, it's us poor people that have to go to war. The military-industrial complex makes money every time there's war. We're in the midst of World War III right now, and people don't recognize it. See, they got the soldiers on the ground right now trying to enforce these laws and trying to beat you into compliance. Because if you don't comply, they will falsely arrest you. And then you have to go through the file of lawsuits and hope you win. That's why you record the police officers. That's why you record government. That's why you never talk to government. That's why you never talk to police officers. This is why you carry your Second Amendment. See, they don't want you to realize that you have rights. You have freedoms. You have liberties. Because if America wakes up and we stand together and we realize that we all have rights and freedom, the DEA cannot enforce no dang law that they make up and write on the books, which they do not have the authority to do. Only Congress has that authority. See, Congress writes laws. They don't write laws. So anytime the DEA, ATF says you're going to be a felon if you don't turn in these plastic pieces on a gun, I look at them and laugh. Well, come and take it. Come and get me then. Go for it. Because I'll gladly die for this country. I refuse to turn in anything, refuse to destroy it. If I put my hard-earned money into it, I'm refusing to destroy it. I ain't got much money. So if I put my money into one, guess what? You're not getting it. Unless I'm dead. So, government, do you really want to fuck around and piss off the American people like this? You know, all of us. You know, go down through the hoods and tell them that they got to give up every gun that they ever stolen. Or they bought legally. They got to give up every gun that's ever gunned, period. You want to go through the hood and do that? You want to go through the mountains? Go through the hillbillies' homes? Rednecks' homes? The country boys' homes? The farmers' homes? And tell them they got to give up the guns? Just because we deemed it illegal all of a sudden, out of the blue? You want to go through every house in America and say, hey, we want you to give up these guns. See, DEA, ATF, Homeland Security, FBI, and everybody else. You're going to fuck around and you're going to find out how pissed off the American people can get. And here's the thing. When they do, you better hope you have an army. You may get one or two of us when we're standing alone like this. But I guarantee you, once they start hearing that you're out here murdering innocent people under law, which you are doing anyways right now, today, how many innocent people have been killed by law enforcement? That's happening today. I don't see why there's not more outrage on either side. White, black, purple, blue, it doesn't matter. I don't see why there's not more outrage when you hear of law enforcement refusing to take a phone call about a missing boy, 19 years old, because he was an indigenous boy, and you refuse to take the call and doing the report about it. Why ain't you investigating all the indigenous people that go missing? Why ain't you investigating everything and doing your job right? Why ain't you investigating all these crimes that you see on Twitter of these black people that are doing crimes, they're attacking people, they're stealing people's stuff, they're carjacking people? Why ain't you letting the American citizen carry their Second Amendment? That's self-defense. That's self-preservation. See, that's a human right. Self-preservation is a human right. So God forbid there was a pregnant woman that was shot, what, 7, 8, 9 times? Because guy wanted to jack her car. So he shot her. She was pregnant and lost her baby. So why ain't you letting her carry a gun? Why ain't you letting the citizens that see shit like that happening, they start dropping them in protection of that woman? They drop them. They're in a restaurant. Freaking Chinese restaurant got trashed. Why ain't you letting them carry their guns just to start shooting? If they're these teenagers are out trashing these, and guess what? I'm gonna say it. They were all black kids. Huh? Imagine that. It's on video. So why ain't you letting us carry our guns? And you're just following orders, enforcing these gun laws from these governors that says that the Second Amendment was written for muskets. No, it wasn't. It was written for military grade weapons, because the musket back in the day was a military grade weapon. It was written so we have the equal power of the government. So if the government has it, I think we should have it. Come on, there's so much going on right now. I don't make videos very, very often just because I want to shut up and listen to everybody else talking. Because there's so much in my head that I listen to on a daily basis, that I hear bootlickers saying, well, it's easier just to comply. Yes, it's easier just to comply and give up your constitutional rights and freedom. Yes, it's easier just to say, I give up. It's easier just to surrender. I ain't surrendered. I ain't giving up. I will not bend. I will not bow. Only person I bow down to is God. And you're not God. Government, you're not God. You never will be God. I will never bow down to the satanic world order. I'll never bow down to the transgenders. I'll never bow down to anybody but God, or Jesus Christ, or the Holy Ghost. That's the only three I bow down to, not you. So God bless. Have a good day. And patriotic Americans, it's time to start getting pissed off and getting outraged. It's time. It's been beyond time. I'm telling you. Everything that you see going on, it's beyond time. Start standing up in your local towns, in your local states. Start standing up. Start telling the government to go fuck themselves. God bless. Be safe. Remember, 3 up. God bless. I stand with you. I got your 6 if you got my 6. God bless.